Skid Row and tent cities, a grim reality in Los Angeles. Los Angeles is often glamorized as the land of opportunity, but just a few blocks from the glitz of downtown lies Skid Row, a stark reminder that not all dreams come true. Skid Row is infamous for being one of the largest concentrations of homelessness in the United States, with an estimated population of 5,000 to 10,000 unhoused individuals. It's a place where makeshift tents line the streets, and survival hinges on navigating dire conditions like mental illness, drug addiction, and systemic poverty. Skid Row isn't just a neighborhood, it's a tragic symbol of urban inequality. Originally a bustling industrial hub in the early 20th century, the area transformed during the Great Depression into a haven for transient workers and struggling individuals. Over time, it became a dumping ground for society's most vulnerable, those left behind by skyrocketing rents, insufficient social services, and systemic failures. Despite efforts to revitalize downtown LA, Skid Row remains hemmed in by gentrified neighborhoods that don't want the encampments to spread. Living conditions are abysmal. Tents and makeshift shelters dominate the streets, while trash piles up alongside human waste. Crime rates are high, with drug use rampant and safety precarious. It's not uncommon to hear stories of violence or theft within these encampments. For many residents, life on Skid Row is a daily battle against hunger, illness, and despair. Efforts to address homelessness through initiatives like LA County's $280 million Skid Row Action Plan have shown some progress, housing thousands. But the problem persists due to deep-rooted issues like income inequality and insufficient, affordable housing. Tent cities are another grim feature of LA's homelessness crisis. These encampments pop up across neighborhoods like Hollywood Boulevard or Venice Beach, often becoming hotspots for drug use, fires, and trash accumulation. While some tent villages are managed by nonprofits like Urban Alchemy to offer basic shelter and security, many others remain unregulated. Residents often return to cleared sites within days due to a lack of permanent housing options. Advocates argue that tent cities are a temporary fix at best, offering privacy and autonomy but failing to address the root causes of homelessness. The rent is too darn high. Want to live in a shoebox for $3,000 a month? Welcome to LA. Housing prices here are so absurd that you'll feel nostalgic for Monopoly. At least there, you can buy Boardwalk for $400. Whether you're renting or buying, prepare to hemorrhage money faster than you can say Hollywood dreams. And speaking of Hollywood, don't even get me started on how unaffordable it is to live anywhere near the action. The rent situation in LA is like a bad joke. You'll find yourself applying for apartments that are basically glorified closets with a shared bathroom down the hall. And if you're lucky, you might even get a view of the alleyway. But hey, at least you'll be living in LA, right? The city of stars, where your dreams can come true if you're willing to sacrifice your entire paycheck to a landlord. But what really takes the cake is when you finally find a place that's somewhat affordable, only to discover it's in a neighborhood that's about to be gentrified. You'll enjoy the charm of living next to a construction site for the next 5 years, listening to the soothing sounds of jackhammers and bulldozers at 6 a.m. every morning. And if you're really lucky, you might even get to experience the thrill of having your rent raised by 20% every year because the landlord decided to add a new coat of paint to the building. The traffic apocalypse. If you've ever dreamed of spending 104 hours a year sitting in your car, congratulations. LA is your paradise. The highways here are basically parking lots with better views. Whether it's the infamous 405 or the 101, you'll find yourself questioning your life choices as you crawl at a snail's pace. And don't even think about public transportation. It's about as reliable as spotting Bigfoot on Hollywood Boulevard. The city planners tried expanding transit systems, but honestly, it feels like throwing a Band-Aid on a broken leg. At this point, you might as well pack snacks and call your car your second home. The traffic isn't just a minor annoyance, it's a lifestyle. You'll plan your entire day around avoiding rush hour, which, let's be real, is most of the day. Want to grab lunch? Better leave an hour early. Need to get to work? Forget about it. You're leaving at 5 a.m. And if you think it's bad during the week, just wait until the weekend when everyone decides to hit the beach or go shopping. It's like the entire city is conspiring against you to keep you stuck in traffic. Parking nightmares. Finding parking in LA is like hunting for buried treasure, except there's no map, and pirates are charging $20 an hour for valet service. Street parking? Good luck deciphering those signs that seem designed to confuse even NASA scientists. You'll either get ticketed or towed. There's no middle ground. Parking in LA is an art form, really. You need to have a PhD in parking sign interpretation and a sixth sense for predicting when someone will leave their spot. And if you're really lucky, you might even get to experience the thrill of circling around the block for 30 minutes, only to find out out that the last spot was taken by someone who decided to park their car at a 45-degree angle. But what really takes the cake is when you finally find a spot only to realize it's a permit-only zone. You'll get to enjoy the sensation of receiving a $100 ticket for your trouble, complete with a lovely photo of your car parked in the wrong spot. It's like the city is playing a game of parking roulette and you're always the loser. Smog-tinted skies. The air quality in LA, a delightful cocktail of car exhaust and industrial pollution. You'll wake up every morning wondering if that haze outside is fog or smog. Spoiler alert, it's smog. Breathing here feels like taking up smoking without cigarettes. Sure, California has made strides in reducing emissions, but LA still ranks as one of the worst cities for air pollution. Pro tip, invest in an air purifier, or just accept that your lungs will hate you. The smog isn't just a minor health concern, it's a constant companion that follows you everywhere. You can't escape it, whether you're hiking in the mountains or strolling along the beach. It's like LA is trying to remind you that no matter how beautiful the scenery is, you're still living in a giant pollution factory. And don't even get me started on the wildfires that seem to pop up every year, turning the air into a toxic soup that makes you wonder if it's safe to step outside. The water crisis. LA might be glamorous, but it's also thirsty. Literally, the city has been battling water shortages for decades. You'll feel guilty every time you take a shower or water your plants because droughts are practically an annual event here. Meanwhile, everyone still insists on maintaining lush green lawns like they're living in England instead of a desert. The water crisis in LA is a bit of a paradox. On one hand, you have these beautiful lush gardens and lawns that seem to defy the desert climate. On the other hand, you have strict water restrictions that make you feel like you're committing a crime every time you wash your car. It's like living in a water-themed amusement park, except instead of fun rides, you get to enjoy the thrill of watching your plants wither away because you can't water them enough. Overcrowded beaches. Sure, LA has beautiful beaches, but good luck enjoying them when they're packed with people who treat sand like their personal runway. Between the hordes of tourists and locals trying to escape the heat, finding a peaceful spot is impossible. Oh, and don't forget the occasional whiff of sewage from nearby drains. It's all part of the charm. The beaches in LA are like a never-ending festival, except instead of music and fun, you get to enjoy the sounds of screaming children and the smell of sunscreen. You'll fight for every inch of sand, only to realize that the person next to you is blasting their music so loudly that you can't even hear the waves. It's like trying to relax in a war zone, except instead of bullets, you're dodging frisbees and beach umbrellas. People here seem to think that the beach is their personal trash can, leaving behind a trail of plastic bottles and discarded towels. It's like they forget that the ocean is actually a living ecosystem, not just a backdrop for their Instagram photos. Earthquakes are always lurking. If traffic doesn't kill you, maybe an earthquake will. Los Angeles sits on multiple fault lines, making it a prime location for seismic activity. Every time there's a minor tremor, people panic like they're extras in a disaster movie. Stocking up on emergency supplies becomes part of your monthly budget because you never know when the big one will hit. Earthquakes are just part of the LA experience like traffic or smog. You'll get used to the occasional shake, but it never gets less terrifying. And if you're really unlucky, you might even experience the thrill of having your house slide off its foundation or watching your favorite coffee shop crumble into dust. It's like living in a real-life video game, except instead of collecting coins, you're collecting PTSD points. Click the like button, subscribe, and stay awesome.